ain't feel as if time is passing at 1% its normal speed.
If we play this right, we could take the whole city.
800 million people living in the ruin of the old world. Only one thing fighting for order in the chaos. The men and women of the Hall of Justice.
Peachtree's is the manufacturing base for all the slow-mo in Mega City 1.
You know how often we get a judge up in Peachtree's?
Well, you got one now.
She has control of everything. Levels 1 to 200.
This is Mama. Somewhere in this block are 2 judges.
That's not good.
I want him dead.
We're gonna have to go through him. Rookie, you ready?
Yeah.
You look ready.
Fire!
Judgment time.
Let's finish this.
Law is not the law. I'm the law. Negotiations over. The sentence is death.
Dredd is an action crime sci-fi movie that was released on September 21st, 2012, and is based on the British comic book Judge Dredd. This one stars Carl Urban and Lena Headey. This review was a request by Darnell Letterbury 515. So, let's see if it's good by starting with the story. The story follows a violent and futuristic city where the police play judge, jury, and executioner. An experienced cop named Judge Dredd teams up with a trainee named Anderson to take out a gang producing a drug called slow-mo. But things go wrong when they take over an area named Peachtree's. Overall, I'm a bit mixed on the story. Now, I've never read the comic, but I do know that the original comic was actually meant as satire of cops who get a little too trigger happy when going after criminals and basically bust people for shit that isn't even all that bad. Going into this movie, I was expecting it to be sort of a modern day satirical action movie, kind of in the same vein as, or in a similar vein as RoboCop or Total Recall. But I felt that's not really what I got. A lot of this movie is done in earnest. That being said, the story that I actually did get was not that bad. When the gang takes over Peachtree's, it kind of turns into a Die Hard scenario, which is a pretty fucking great direction to take the story in. It even has some raw dialogue, which adds to the experience. Obviously it's not done as well as that movie, but that is a fucking tough movie to beat. Dredd is pretty good in this movie. He speaks with practically no emotion, but that's kind of the whole point of the character. Dredd is supposed to be a cop who carries his duties with a very business-like indifference to everything he's doing. He's kind of like RoboCop, although he does get one cuss word in there, which is not very RoboCop-like. As for Anderson, I'm a bit mixed on her. I do admire that she is a character who wants to make a difference in Peachtree's, but she finds that she might be doing more harm to the area than good. Or at least that's what I think this movie is trying to convey. They don't really fully commit to it. She gets shaken up when having to kill a criminal, but later on she finds that he is the wife of the woman they tried to interrogate. I'm not sure if she should be shaken up by it. A lot of the crimes these people commit are not victimless crimes. Granted, a few of them were, but it seems like they were doing way more counts of homicide and computer hacking than drug use and prostitution, is all I'm saying. In fact, the main villain used to be a prostitute, but she's not doing that anymore. But one thing I do like about her is that she has psychic powers. Not only is it pretty fucking cool, but in some ways it even helps her get one step ahead of Dredd at parts. Probably the most interesting use of her powers is when she interrogates one of the criminals held hostage by them, Kay. Anderson finds that Kay wants to fuck her really rough. She kind of plays with his desire in order to get the information that they need. Kay is obviously fucking terrified when he finds that out, but he also has psychic powers and recognizes her guilt about going after criminals. I think this is when she starts to realize what she's doing. But what undercuts that scene is the fact that she ends up killing him later with no remorse. But admittedly, I love it when Kay asks, "Any last words, bitch?" And she responds, "Funny, I was gonna ask you the same thing, bitch." Fucking genius. But the movie overall has a weird ending. If you have not seen this movie, I recommend skipping to the timestamp in the description. At the end of the movie, Anderson rips off her badge and gives it to Dredd. And when the judge asks Anderson if she passed or failed, Dredd answers she passed. Then it cuts to him driving off. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's an interesting ending at least. The action scenes are pretty fucking good. There's a good amount of gunplay and blood. It is shot and edited pretty well for the most part. There's this one action scene that is entirely in slow motion, which is pretty fucking cool. However, the only real gripe that I have with the action scenes is the way the main villain Mama gets taken out. It's not as good as it could have been. Dredd doesn't even get to fight her. I guess her falling out of the window in slow motion was pretty cool, and I like how it showed a ton of blood when she hit the ground. I just wish the build-up after the final action scene was a bit more exciting, but it's just kind of underwhelming. Now, as for the production values, the cinematography is pretty good. The editing is especially really good, with some great use of slow-mo, which works pretty fucking well because of the drug named slow-mo. Unfortunately, the sound and music are nothing spectacular, and I don't really have much to say about them. But they're not bad by any means. Overall, Dredd is not that bad of a movie. Now, as an adaptation of the comics, I don't know if it's that great, but as a movie on its own, it has a hell of a lot to like about it. The scenarios are pretty exciting, and the action scenes are pretty good too. Oh, and the editing style is pretty cool. Not sure how I feel about Anderson, but overall, it's a pretty decent movie. I give Dredd 3 out of 5 stars with the title of Worth Watching. Anyway, I'm Spike Robot. If you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to plug my Patreon and my Instagram. If you support me on Patreon, you can get exclusive updates on my next video. And if you follow me on Instagram, you can see all the pictures I took in Venice, Italy. So go check those out. Anyway, take it easy. On to the freedom, Jingos.